Start again, sorry.
When we first got it, it was very exciting. My only worry was, would I know how to use it all? Because I've never had an iPad, never had an iPhone, really. So I knew of the technology, but I hadn't really put it into practice. What I did find useful was some of the apps that we already had, and then when we realised we could go on the App Store and get the different apps, then we could play around with it a bit. We had the freedom to have a go at using it, and that made it a bit easier to start associating with the iPad and getting used to using it. So that first induction of 2 weeks was very handy to have that as a guide.
Have you had any issues about learning it? Or?
Well, I'm the complete opposite to Amy. I had an iPhone before I had the iPad, so I'm sort of used to Apple technology, but never to the extent of what we've been taught and how to use the apps, especially things like Pages. I had no idea, but it's revolutionised, especially when I thought, you know, we can have a bit of notes or whatever, but now the ability to expand that and take it to Dropbox, been able to share that to all my friends, been able to put it on the internet, to share it, and it's just there.
Right. So are you using it in lectures? When you go to lectures, do you use it?
I use the FIPS. I find very useful to take notes within the boxes, and I've got the questions already there for me, rather than having a mass paper copy of the journal next to me. So I find that I can have a look at the questions, and as my tutor's talking, I can think, right, okay, what questions can I take on placement with this? What am I actually reflecting? So that's been useful to have the copy of it right in front of me.
And what about being able to take it home and use it at home? Does that add a new dimension, or does that help?
I haven't used my laptop I've brought with me. I've used my iPad. I haven't. It's a heavy, bulky item, and now I've got this, and I can just sit at my own leisure with it, and I've got everything here, and it's brilliant.
When I travel as well, like if you're travelling home for a weekend or anything, I found it very useful. If I'm travelling on a bus, I can just flip it out and start working. I couldn't really do that with a laptop. It's too bulky and too heavy. So I can actually be doing my work when I'm on the move, which is really good for time-wise, because we have a lot of time where we have to do different things. And when I just want to make a note or I've got an idea of something, I can just jot it down on the iPad.
What's your impression when you go into schools? I know you haven't been much yet, but how do you think it might play out there? Will it be useful in schools?
I've had a bit of difficulty with this, simply because the two academies I'm with don't have the software for Apple, and that's the only trouble. But they have said to me things like timers and like buzzer things. I can use that of my iPad on my own on the desk. It's just that hasn't been a way for me to connect it to the projector as yet. But it's something that they're very interested in hearing about.
Yeah, that's good.
So the school that I'm with was very, very impressed straight away. And when I walked in and said, I have an iPad, can I use it in the classroom? And they were like, yes. You know, if you have been able to buy the adapter and use it, you're more than welcome to do that. So it's opened up a new sort of avenue of ways to explore and engage the children in a revolutionary sort of environment, really.